we're kind of in like Flynn with the government, you could say, with there's several of us are policy advisors to the Premier and the Minister. There's 6 of us, and Andy Hargraves is one, I'm one, Carol Campbell, who's another, you know, up-and-coming star, is the 3rd. And they, the government just in September announced, we're part of the announcement because we're implicated, that they are going to do a review of student assessment and appoint the 6 of us who are advisors, with Carol leading it, to conduct that with a March 9th deadline because there's a June election. So we are now just started in the first 3 weeks of looking at Ontario's assessment in all its pieces. Things like we've got, we assess literacy, numeracy, and high school graduation, year 3, year 6, year 9, and so forth. So there's a certain amount of assessment. We don't assess well-being. Should we assess well-being? Should we assess, continue with that assessment of across the board? So we're reviewing this. My point about this is there's good work at the policy level in New Zealand and in Ontario that is really broken open this whole business. And we have a lot of districts. There's about 17 districts of the 72 in Ontario that are doing deep learning. And some of them have done it in a faltering way with a few schools. Some have done it whole district. So Ottawa has done 84 schools. It's very successful. They perceive the what I call the systemic barriers. Now they see, well, we've been working kind of an intention against that, and now there's a breakthrough at the state level that enables us to even legitimize our work even further. And because they're excited and down the road with a lot of people doing good things. And that what is convincing is that the students have been, if you think, teachers have taken to it when they've been supported in groups, and huge excitement, transformation of their careers, they say, no matter what age they are. But students have been liberated like crazy, like really huge. Students have change agents, mobilization. So this is what I would call it, it's more like a social movement than an implementation of an innovation. And that we want to use intentional social movement thinking to leverage what's there. And that's basically what MPDL does. We leverage it locally. We leverage it by locals affecting other locals in the same state, and then in the same country. They get stimulated cross country. So this is, and that we try to pull out of that things that are worth keeping. We had, even with Rich Seam that I did with Maria Langworthy, a model of change was letting go. Well, it was sort of provisional direction, sort of a preliminary vision. Letting go, reining in was the kind of sequence. So you had good ideas and goals about the 6 C's and other things. You implemented them by letting go. In other words, how can we stimulate as much instances of its usage? And then how can you then rein in and sort out what's worth keeping and what's worth jettisoning? And that's kind of, and then the more you do that, then the letting go is not so diffuse because you've got more focus as you select and start to leverage more of it. So I think it's intrinsically at the beginning an uphill battle for people. So you can't expect that we'll do it and we won't get any any questions about it. It'll be kind of a tough one, but because you're doing it with others, because you have supportive key administrators, because it's exciting for you and for teachers, for students, and because you see the 6 C's flourishing in a way that makes sense in this world, there's sort of, I'd say within 3 or 4 or 5 years from now, we'll see like a really strong uptake of this that's more solid. But right now, it's not quite the pioneer stage, whatever stage it is, that's just a little bit past pioneer. That's where we are.